Now there's 2 extra bags out in the middle of nowhere.
A good Columbus, Ohio morning to everybody, and welcome to the 2015 GRO1000 Green Space event here at the Wheatland Urban Farm. I'm Sue Locke with Scotts Miracle-Gro, Director of Corporate and Community Partnerships, and we are so excited to be here this morning. This is number 500, and yes. So all those 499 projects that came before this, we're really glad to be here. And also for another reason, many of you know we had originally scheduled this for the end of June, and then we had the June monsoon season. So I just took this as a sign that we're kind of saving this day for the best, and we have our great associates here, great community partners, so I think we're going to have a wonderful day. So for GRO1000 in 2015, we really have been across the country. We started off in Dallas, Texas. We were in West Sacramento, California, and then we went to Rochester, New York, and also Hartford, Connecticut, and Detroit. And now we're here in Columbus, Ohio. And one of the themes that we saw across all of our projects this year was the focus on eating healthy foods and getting access to those who really need more nutritious food in urban areas. So when we started planning for number 500, we were really thrilled about this opportunity because what you're going to be doing here is really setting the tone and the model for what we're seeing across the country. And I know the Urban Farms of Central Ohio and Mid-Ohio Foodbank, what's taken place already at the Clearfield Farms just south of us really is such a great roadmap for what's going to be taking place here. So, and I think what's also special is, for some of you who've been with the company a while, this is almost coming full circle. So back in May of 2008, we did one of our first major green space projects with Mayor Coleman and the City of Columbus at Goodale Park. It was bringing partners together for a major green space restoration. So again, the opportunity to work with the City of Columbus, Mayor Coleman, and all of our other local partners, this really, again, just makes this day all the more special. And, you know, we've had the opportunity along the way to also work with the mayor on different city hall beautification projects. So again, this really is just a capstone for part of our relationship with the city. So thanks to all of you for being a part of this journey. So our first speaker is one of the city's longest serving mayor. He is focused on neighborhood revitalization, greening our city, and it's been a wonderful 16 years in the city. So I'd like to bring up Mayor Michael B. Coleman.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Wheatland Urban Farm. And we're so glad to be here. 500, I'm so glad that number 500 is right here in the city of Columbus and right here at this location in particular. Thank you, Scotts Miracle-Gro. And let's hear it for Scotts Miracle-Gro. Yeah. All the associates, employees, and folks that work at Scotts Miracle-Gro, many of you are here today to turn the dirt. We're glad to have you here. I'll be watching you. You know, and this represents about also 300 gardens in the city of Columbus, right? So, hey, how about that? I want to thank Matt Halbosh and Mid-Ohio Foodbank for this new venture, and they do a marvelous job. We have to continue to remember many things as we move forward in our city. One is that there is a hunger problem in our city. Too many people, especially our children, go hungry every day. And two is it's important to recognize that too many neighborhoods don't have access to fresh vegetables and food that comes from the ground. And this will help and go a long way. Teamed up with our City Land Bank program, we are feeding people one person at a time. We're trying to end hunger and provide nourishing meals to people all over our city. And we're just so happy to do this because this fits in with our Columbus Green Community Plan, the Green Memo number 3. Now, you don't know what Green Memo number 2 and number 1 is, but I tell you, Green Memo number 3 is awesome. So, we're planting hope, We're planning opportunity, we're planning good health, and we're also planning people to no longer be hungry every day. Thank you, Scotts Miracle-Gro. I'm proud that this company is a Central Ohio company. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next speaker has been a longtime friend of Scotts Miracle-Gro. Whether we're celebrating Earth Day at Franklin Park Conservatory, she's always been there just providing her guidance and advocacy on this. Council Member Michelle Mills.
Good morning. I am so happy to be here. Many of you may or may not know that I look out in the audience and I see me. I started off as a 4-H kid, and here today celebrating 500 gardens as a leader of this city is just a tremendous day for me. And to see the young people here starting off as I did with the love of nature and the ground and the food that we eat, and being conscious of how it grows, where it grows, and how it supports us in our daily living. So today is a celebration of not only our choices in terms of what we do with our land, our environment, but also making sure that we're feeding families and educating children. So all three of those are very key ingredients when you look at urban farming. It has good education for young people, adults, and seniors and alike. It's managing our environment, taking care of our land and all the natural resources that have been provided to us. And it is also talking about our importance in terms of our environment. And if we don't start early teaching the importance of our environment, Green Memo 1, 2, and 3 can't get achieved, because we're going to need generations after us to finish the work that we've gotten started. And so it's important to have young people here, so I'm very excited to see many people under 10. I like all the adults too, but it is great to see that there is importance placed on the environment at a very early age. As a young person in 4-H, many of the tomatoes I grew went from the ground to the can to the soup kitchens that were feeding families. And so today, as a leader of St. Stephen's Community House, launching our urban farm a year ago was extremely important, because I knew the lessons and all that I learned as a child during 4-H was going to be present ever more now as our population continues to grow, but our food production isn't keeping pace with our population. And so it's important that we talk about how we make sure families are fed and that children are educated about food and the science of food, because that's the only way they can make smarter choices. And so today is just a great day to celebrate. I'm glad to be here with leaders like Mayor Coleman, Matt Habash, who he and I have just been on the hunger path, if you would say, together, and making sure that families and children don't go to bed at night without eating. And so the work of the Mid-Ohio Foodbank is making sure that not only our social issues are taken care of, but education is there in terms of food. And this is a giant step in the right direction. But 500 gardens, we have 500 more to go. So I hope this inspires you to maybe think about a garden at your church, at home, or any other institution that you're engaged in addition to your work as an associate with Scotts. But I hope it inspires you, because the small gardens to the large ones like this all make a difference. They all can feed a family, they all can educate a child, and they all are mindful of our environment. So I hope that today inspires you to think about how community gardens really set the map for our great city. I am proud to lead the market study that will look at how we use land in the city of Columbus, because it's not just gardening. We have to think about zoning and all the other things that go with it, and that's all the not so fun stuff, but it's necessary so that entities like Mid-Ohio Foodbank can do what they do best, and that is making sure we end hunger in the city of Columbus. Thank you all, and let's get to planning.
And we were also honored to have Councilmember Mills' colleague, Zach Klein, is here. So, Zach, raise your hand, give a shout out to him. He was being a little shy. I think he didn't want to say a few words, but thank you for being here. Our next speaker has been a champion of the urban farms of Central Ohio. He has been our treasurer for the last 8 years and really has focused on making it easier for residents to get their taxes paid and having a great customer service. I say that from personal experience. So welcome, please, Franklin County Treasurer Ed Leonard.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I want to thank Scotts for your commitment to this community, to this neighborhood, for our mayor and city council president, and Matt. They've all been very committed leaders to help us bring us to this day. And so, but many of you may be wondering, why the Franklin County Treasurer? What role do we have? And but several years ago, I began the County Land Bank, and its mission has been to combat the impact of vacant properties in the community. And I recognized that not every vacant property was going to get redeveloped with a house. That many of these properties provided the opportunity for urban gardens, urban farms, for people to bring them back into productive use that way. And I was one of the initial partners that was brought to the table with Matt and Reverend John Edgar over on the south side. But we were one of the founding partners brought to the table because we recognized that some of these vacant properties were not going to be redeveloped for housing, and that they could be used and presented an opportunity for urban farming. I worked closely with the Columbus public school officials to get the first urban farm site at Clarefield Elementary on the south side. And it was an old abandoned elementary school with lots of vacant land, and it was at that time doing nothing to improve the community. And one of the key lessons that we've learned in the 3 seasons that we've been at Clarefield Elementary, and we've taken that site from a third of it, or 3/4 of an acre when we started, to now 3 acres of production. We're providing food for the neighborhood. We're providing food for local food banks. We're pantries. We're even actually working with local restaurants to sell it so that we can make this a sustainable project. And so, but one of the key lessons that we learned from those 3 seasons that we've been at Clarefield Elementary is that, the folks up here, we can make all the investment that we can to make it successful. But our investment's never going to guarantee success. And it never did guarantee success at the Clarefield Elementary site. It's the commitment of the neighbors. That in the first urban farm site that we had, it was the commitments of the neighbors that made it successful. The success was realized when we had high school students showing up, working at the farm, the senior citizens in the neighborhood and other residents in that neighborhood who showed up at the farm to help make it a success. They were the ones that really guaranteed the success because they invested their time and energy. They're the ones who helped really ensure the success of that farm. When we, the partners here at Urban Farms, sought to find the next site for the second urban farm, this Wheatland site, one of the most critical elements of the Hilltop and this Wheatland site was all of you. We've got folks I know from the neighborhood. We've got a lot of volunteers from Scotts, but we knew that this neighborhood was going to make that investment, that this neighborhood provided the solid foundation of committed individuals and committed civic groups and community groups. And it's going to be that commitment, the commitment of the individuals in this community, in this neighborhood, each and every one of the people here today, that's going to ensure the success of what I refer to as this field of dreams, because it really is a field of dreams. And it embodies hope and opportunity for the neighborhood. It's a field of dreams because it strengthens the neighborhood both in body and soul. And we knew that if we built this field of dreams, that if we built it, you would come. That if we built it, you would make it a success. So thank all of you. I want to thank all of our partners, but I especially want to thank all of you for being here to help make this field of dreams possible.
So our next speaker has been part of this journey along with many of us from the very beginning. Ann Aquillo. And in 2008, I had mentioned earlier, we were working with the city on the Goodale Park restoration. And I still remember that Saturday morning calling Ann, do you have the dirt in your trunk? Are you bringing it? And we've been through the course of the years, we've been through many different cities, many different projects, standing in the rain, looking for that restroom before the program started. And again, I just really appreciate all that she's done for this program. Ann Aquillo, Vice President of Corporate Affairs for Scotts Miracle-Gro.
Good morning. We have so many other stories we could tell. We've been to so many of these. Good morning, I'm Ann Aquillo. It is great to have everybody here, and I know we're all anxious to get into the garden, so I'm going to make this really quick. First, thank you. Thank you to people like our beloved friend, Mayor Coleman over there, and Councilwoman Mills, our city partners who make everything come together for us, and our great great folks who believe in the dream just like us. Thank you to our county friends like Treasurer Leonard, other folks that we work with in Franklin County to make these things a possibility. To Matt and the Mid-Ohio Foodbank, one of our favorite partners to work with as well, because we believe in the idea of no one going hungry. And I want to also thank the folks here for the Urban Garden, for the Highland Youth Garden. Again, without you, we couldn't do this. I'm also going to thank all of our yellow shirts. Without you, without our Scotts associate and volunteers, we cannot make days like this possible. So thank you to you for being here, and thank you to all the other folks who are joining us today who might not be in one of those groups, but you helped make this project successful. So secondly, why are we here? We're here because we believe in the transformative power of green spaces and gardens. GRO1000 is our commitment as a company that by the time we turn 150 in 2018, we're going to have 1,000 of these all across the world, everywhere we have a presence, everywhere we believe we can make a difference. And we are halfway there today, which is really exciting when you think about what we've been able to do community by community, hand by hand, helping to make things different. I want to also call out Sue Locke and Lindsay LaSala. You've met Sue up here. Lindsay is somewhere in the group. There she is. Without the two of them holding hands with all of these different communities and lots of other partners, Bill Dawson and Franklin Park Conservatory, the U.S. Council of Mayors, the National Gardening Association. It truly takes a village to bring this program together, and we are so thankful for all of those folks. And lastly, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the Wheatland Urban Farm. You are now part of our family, the Scotts Miracle-Gro family, that believes in what can happen in a community like this. Bill, I'm going to quote you like I did earlier this week. Peace started in a garden. And I'm going to add one thing to it, which is we can go back to find that peace in a garden right now, today, in our communities, all around the world. So thank you. We're glad to be here. And most importantly, welcome to the family, Wheatland. Thank you.
So I think our next speaker really needs no introduction. I think when you think of Matt Habosh, he really is the face and example of what service means in Central Ohio. And he's been with the Mid-Ohio Foodbank for, I think, going on 31 years. Matt? 31 years? He was just a child, a prodigy. Also a member of City Council, but Matt Habosh, President and CEO of Mid-Ohio Foodbank.
Thanks, Sue. In case anybody didn't hear that, I started when I was 2. You know, one of the things when you have an opportunity to do these events, and I've done a lot of these events in a lot of different capacities over the years, is one of the things that really shows up is the commitment of this community, you know, in so many different ways. You know, we talk a lot about what it means to have public-private partnerships. This is a great example of a public-private partnership. When you've got elected officials like the 3 of these and Zach and the folks that every day are thinking about how to build a better community, they make it very easy. When you have corporate partners, you know, like Scotts Miracle-Gro, it really makes it easy. So we become the third part of that process and are really coming together from the social sector to say, how do we bring everything together? You've heard from everybody in terms of what their commitment is to trying to figure out how nobody in our community goes hungry, how we build a healthier community, how we really build an engaged community. So from the Mid-Ohio Foodbank's perspective, this is about the second half of our mission, which is co-creating a sustainable community where everyone thrives. And that's what the hope and the dreams, the job education types of things that can come from this, in addition to the food. The food for us is almost secondary in the sense of this is really about building a community. And for us, it's really unique when you've got Columbus Neighborhood Health Centers and the fact that the city for so many years has been such a strong partner in the federally qualified health center movement in this community that we can tie the health work that goes on in that building with fresh, healthy food right here and really make that kind of connection so that we can really work on the disease issues of obesity and hypertension and diabetes. That's what the hope that comes out of this. We also have this unique opportunity with young people. This is all about how we can educate people, particularly for a lot of folks that don't know where their food comes from. You know, here's an opportunity to re-engage and to really be a part of a process. And finally, we have this really unique situation with Urban Farms in Central Ohio. It is a female-run team. Come here. You can see who got dressed to actually plant food today. To do work, but Sarah Lanke and Dana, you know, and we have another Danette, and it's an entire female-run farm team, which for me is pretty special. So I really want to call them out because they do work. That's exactly, you know who's not dressed to plant, so they don't let me anywhere near this. But it really is, you know, I have this amazing team at the food bank, and that's what really brings us together. And I think that's what we really want to celebrate, is everybody coming together, and we really will create a community where everyone thrives. Thank you very much.
I think this is the best part of the program. Obviously, it takes a lot of passion, commitment, and resources from the community to make something like the Wheatland Urban Farm a reality. So we'd like to make a check presentation to Matt and the mayor, so come on up. And John. On behalf of Scotts Miracle-Gro, we'd like to present a $25,000 grant check to support the Wheatland Urban Farm. So now we'd like to present the Give Back to Grow Youth Gardener Award, but beforehand, I want to recognize two brothers who have really been instrumental in their work at Clearfield Farms, Kevon and Quintel Silas. They are students at Marion Franklin High School. They've been part of the Columbus Urban League program, and this was their first job experience. They've been instrumental in supporting the Clearfield Farm, and I know Sarah and the team there have just sang your praises. So thank you for all that you both have done. Would you like to say a few words?
It's been great working at the farm for real. I had lots of fun so far. So I mean, thank you for everything that y'all supported us with, and hope you have a good rest of the day. So.
Now I'd like to bring up John Sass, Vice President of Gardens Marketing for Miracle-Gro, and he's going to present the Youth Gardener Award.
All right, Sue, thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be able to present this award. You know, it is something that me and my team and all of the yellow shirts here, we talk a lot back at Scotts Miracle-Gro on getting the next generation of kids involved in gardening and getting their hands dirty. And so to be able to be here today to present this award is really special for me. And so the Give Back to Grow Youth Gardener Award is a cornerstone of our GRO1000 program, and it recognizes young people and their commitment and involvement to the community. It showcases the hard work and the passion of our nation's young people, their dedication to and philosophy of like sharing what we believe back at Scotts Miracle-Gro on giving back to the community. The award is highlighted by those who have demonstrated leadership and environmental awareness by using gardening to improve their school environment, their public spaces, or their community. So as we began the process of looking at who we were going to recognize here in this Wheatland Farm area, we had a tough decision. And so the awesome results and sort of the work that's been done by a group, we recognize that we're going to recognize a whole group here and not a single individual. And so I want to join me in a round of applause to recognize the children of the Highland Youth Garden and their efforts in this gardening program. So let me tell you a little bit of background about this group. The Highland Youth Garden's mission is to enhance the Hilltop neighborhood by growing food and educating neighbors and residents. Their vision is to build a healthier community through gardening. They have served more than 300 students since 2012. They partner with local schools, community groups, and the Highland Youth Garden. They host children's weekly activities to give real-world gardening experience and exposure to these kids. And their program is going to be worked into the curriculum and into the STEM program in the future moving forward. So a really awesome cause. Accepting the award on behalf of the group is Leah Sayre, Shelby Sayre, Arlen Bagley, Isaiah Hutchinson, and Robert Hallen. In addition, I want to recognize Peggy Murphy and ask her to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you for committing your time and your effort to this area and to the youth of this community. These are our future gardeners, and these are our future Scotts employees, our future city employees. And only 3 of the youth are representing the garden today, but we are educating over 500 children a year. We thank Bill Dawson, the City of Columbus. Scotts has committed their money and their product to us for 7 years. We started out with $1 and a prayer, and I really want to encourage each of you to stop by because the dollar was for land bank property. Thank you, sir. And I just really want to say, if you get a chance to stop by, you will be eating fresh veggies this morning, created by Chef Jim Warner from OSU Wexner Hospital. We are so appreciative of OSU Extension, the hospital, Scotts, the city, United Way. Strader's Garden Center is bringing a truck of flowers, so you guys will have some things to plant today. And we are just very grateful for all the people that have committed to us. Battelle has just committed to help us hire an educator, and I believe that educator, one of our educators is here. Casey, could you raise your hand? So local foods is just part of it, but being healthy, making sure that we do not have cancer, we do not have high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes. That is why we're all here today, is to make sure that people have the opportunity to have a healthier family and a healthier community. Thank you. And if you can throw a tomato, you would actually land right over there in the Highland Youth Garden. So please come on over this afternoon whenever you get a chance, or this morning. Could you guys want to say hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Anybody? Oh, they're being shy, but they really represent all the youth, and I thank you very much.
Let's take a picture.
All right. Oh, thank you. Hey, you get hold of this. All right.
Yeah.